Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, June 10th, 2023, and for me, another day of learning and growing. I hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. So, first off, I need to apologize to anybody who's viewing my channel. I get certain notifications on comments that are made on my videos, but I don't get all of them. And then I was messing around with my YouTube app and found a section where the comments are, and I'll be more consistent and more on top of replying to comments. I'm not ignoring you at all. Just, it's kind of weird that I'm just not figuring this out after vlogging for 2 years, basically. So, it was a bit of a different week for me. I went into the office 3 days, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. My first back-to-back days in a while, but all in all, I will say it was a good experience. The downside is Friday, I'm not sure what caused this, but I went to lunch, and when I got back, I was coughing up a storm. And I was coughing throughout the evening. I think it may have something to do with air quality. Not 100% sure. I don't really have any issues with allergies except for skin allergies. But anyway, that seems to have resolved itself. Well, the other problem is that I've been up since 1 a.m. as a result. So, yeah, this is going to be a long Saturday. But the good thing is that I'm in between courses. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I'm working on getting a career designation, and it requires for this designation 5 courses, 5 exams. Passed the first 2, and I'm waiting to register for my 3rd course, which will probably be next week, and then I'll do a lot of prep work to study for the course. Hopefully I can knock that out in 5 weeks. My goal is to be done with this by the end of 2023. I have that designation. So that's been the week. But, what I wanted to talk about today is, there's a saying, waste not, want not. And I was talking to my mom a little while ago, and something hit me. I was like, what about want not? Want not. Not wanting at all. And I think, over the past, basically 20 plus years, that I let my life be driven by wants. And, even though a big part of my debt, my non-mortgage debt, consumer debt, is the student loans, what if I had chosen, if I was not necessarily smart enough, but made a decision to go to community college the first 2 years and then finished up at a 4-year institution? I went to a private school for college. Not because I was extremely smart or anything. It was because I got in on a music scholarship, and I tried to be a double major. I was I majored in classical trumpet and had a minor in piano. But then also early on, I decided to pursue a second degree in computer information systems, and flamed out. I didn't care for it. I took quite a few classes in it, but it just wasn't a passion of mine. And so I decided to drop that and focus on music. And then took some time off in between my junior and senior year. Went back to school, finished up a little bit later than, my anticipated graduating class, and that's fine. So, like I said, and then I went to graduate school for a year. So, what if I had decided 2 years community college, finish up at a 4-year university, and then go to grad school? I would definitely be in a better position, financially at least, because I wouldn't have accumulated that much debt. But, hindsight's 2020. And also, part of my debt is medical debt. Some of it's a little bit of that is the remainder of my auto loan, which I consolidated with the medical debt to help lower my monthly payments. And but also some of those purchases were clothes. I have a lot of books that I'm really just now getting through, and a lot of musical instruments, and DVDs, CDs. A lot of it's musically related, but I did make some dumb purchases over the years based off of wants, which is why I'm titling this "Want Not." Because of budgeting, my wants have changed. They have evolved because I see the budget, and I see what I'm limited to be able to spend the money on, and naturally, I have to adjust the way I spend the money. And even when my consumer debt's paid off, and I've built up my full emergency fund, and I've paid off my mortgage, I'm not going back to the way I used to spend. I wish these conversations happened in school early on, even middle school, high school, throughout college, about money and spending in particular, because it's part of our lives. This is how we get by. And I'm going to speak on this in a later video, but the cost of education is through the roof. I think when I was going to school, tuition my freshman year was $20,000 a year, and this was 20 plus years ago. And I look at the school now, it's like $38,000 or something like that. That must be a great education if it's costing $38,000 a year. The cost of higher education, but that should be an ongoing conversation in school. That should happen maybe every semester, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, where that's just the ongoing conversations, like what decisions are you going to make after high school, whether you go to trade school, or if you go a whole different route, go to college. And there are so many choices. What's the best choice? I don't know. It's really going to depend on that person. But it's a discussion that not only should happen with the family, but at school, the teachers should be talking about it. Everyone should be talking about it, because it can have a long lasting impact on your life. And anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but when I talk about budgeting, I don't really talk about the nuts and the bolts of it in the video, because really everybody's situation is different. How much I earn and how much you earn is different. How much debt you have and how much debt I have is different than yours. So I try to avoid the specifics of it, and I'm preparing to be able to teach people how to do this, but it's very organic, and I look at my situation, and as a matter of fact, I am talking to one person right now, trying to help them out with their financial situation, just kind of give them ideas. But ultimately it requires a deep dive into someone's current finances. And I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a financial counselor or anything like that. So I don't pretend to be, but I believe, that I can help at least with budgeting. That's something I've been doing for 2 years now. And it's helped me tremendously to deal with living with lupus. Even I don't talk about lupus a lot. I still live with it. I still deal with the joint pains. I go to the rheumatologist every quarter. See my primary care physician once a year. Now I'm seeing a dermatologist. Back in the day, I was seeing an endocrinologist. Having all these doctors, but because I'm able to budget, I don't have as much of a fear of dealing with the financial burden of it. Like one of the things that I struggled with mightily in the beginning, before budgeting, was the cost of medications and not knowing exactly how much I should save a month towards that. And now, roughly I have $100 set aside a month for medications. And now that I do that, that's $50 a paycheck. Now that I do that, I don't worry about that. If I have to increase that because of the cost of medications, that's fine. I'll find other areas to cut back on. But I let my budget sort of dictate where my money is going to be best spent. Another thing I'm going to talk about later on in the video is the tipping culture. And, it is what it is. That's where we are. You pretty much, wherever you go, they have a line item for tipping. Well, if you don't eat out, you don't have to tip. If you don't use DoorDash, you don't have to tip. Whatever other things there are now, I'm sort of plugged out of the system in that regard. So as I went to a restaurant a little while ago to pick up some smoked chicken. It was sort of a celebration dinner after passing the test, and I went to pick up my food, and I looked at the cost. It's like, yeah, never again. I think I spent like $30, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going down this path anymore. So I enjoy eating at home now. I don't care if I ever eat out again. That's perfectly fine. Okay, what am I even talking about? What not? Try not to want so much, and focus on the things that matter. But if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. When I post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@Chronicles of Brain. And until next time, hope you take care.